All right, I want to give a quick update. It's my third day here inside my classroom. And I'm going to give a little video tour of what I've been working on today. Obviously, really important decorations. Cry now, laugh later. But probably the big thing is I've spent the whole day just simply laying everything out into different piles. So, for example, right here we got random Paxton Patterson stuff. Should go to a new home somewhere. Junk pile. And then this whole table right here, all this stuff is laid out kind of by type. Kind of in the middle section here, we have materials, wood, dowels, and this is all stuff that I literally just found in this classroom, and everything was mixed together in a complete disaster of a mess. So I spent most of the last 2 days just pulling stuff out of boxes, trying to figure out like what was what I should keep. You know, it's like, oh, look at all these cool cups. All right, well, obviously I can figure out something to do with cups. Paper towels, Pyrex, gloves, putty, erasers, like the list goes on. There's so much crazy stuff in here. And then this pile over here all goes to the science department. There's stuff like glass pipettes and DNA testing kits and bacteria growing kits. It's like, I don't want that. I don't need that. So all that stuff should go to science. And I'm trying to just be as thoughtful as possible in terms of like choosing what I want, but not getting too sentimental about anything unless it's really cool. For example, a Geiger counter. I have a couple of Geiger counters or Geiger devices, whatever you want to call them, from the 1950s. This is like straight out of the Cold War. I can't get rid of that. That's just too cool. 3D printer zone. I also decided to keep some of the Paxton Patterson equipment stuff that I figured I could use easily, like this wind tunnel, kind of like a ceramics tester. I guess I'm not exactly sure what it is. Solar panels, that sort of stuff. I haven't even touched any of the boxes of stuff that was delivered over the summer. This is like laser cutters and CNC router tables and stuff like that. I did lay out the artwork. Came in this morning. Weirdly enough, it was raining, which almost never happens here in August. And of course, there's a leak right in the ceiling. But it's better that there's a leak there versus over the Haas CNC, which would have been bad news bears. I have probably days and days and days of organization to do, but the thing I have to figure out is, all right, what do I really need to do? Because in about a week and a half, I'm going to have students in front of me. What can I do just to survive? And how much time should I spend moving stuff around versus doing digital work behind the computer or actually organizing curriculum? So it's a problem for me because I of course want to default to doing all of, this organizational stuff. It's like whenever you have something really important to do, you find a good reason to go clean your bathroom. So I always do this stuff first. And at some point, I'm just going to have to stop and make it good enough so that I can transfer my energy into actually studying and learning and teaching and focusing on the content and curriculum versus just like moving things around. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, it's a bit overwhelming. I'm sweating even though it's not even that hot today. I did get my computer station set up, got all my books kind of organized on the bookshelf, got a few decorations up just to make it feel like it's my space, and then my computer zone over here, looking pretty sweet. Got my old D-Tech pictures, because legacy is important, right? And then computer, big screen TV, short throw projector. I mean, this classroom is stacked, but it's still a mess. Anyways, we'll see what happens tomorrow. Day 3, and I've been busting my butt all day, but I think I made a huge dent, and I'm feeling a lot more confident about actually having students in this classroom instead of it being just like a junkyard. So I'm going to take you through in just a sec and show you kind of the layout of the classroom, and kind of highlight some of the things that I did. All right, one of the first things I did is I got all my random books in place. Obviously, there's not a ton of them, but it felt like a lot at the time. Got some of my artwork up. Move this giant box over so it's out of the way. Big thing is I got the seating arrangement semi-dialed. I probably have to do a little bit of tweaks, but all the seats here, these single student seats, these are 28. And hopefully my classes aren't bigger than 28, but if so, it's not that big of a deal because I have all this seating back here, all these lower tables, and if one or two students have to sit back here, it's no big deal. But getting these seats in place was a huge pain because all these giant boxes were in the way. And so I was gonna wait until we got a pallet jack to move it, but then I just strong-armed a bunch of them and just put them over in the corner. But you can see I have the chairs in place. Might be a little tight. I might have to open it up just a bit, check the angles, see if the TV angles are not too difficult for any students on the periphery. That's something you always want to check, is make sure that students sitting on the edges can actually see your screen or your projector or whatever. CNC mills is the same. Put all the boxes over here, removed all the junk that was in this zone so I could put all the boxes here. We're gonna be opening them probably next week. Move the higher tables up over here. They were all grouped together. If you remember yesterday, I had all these tables laid out in a row and just had everything kind of organized by type. All the stuff that was on that table is now inside of this giant storage room. I think I did a pretty good job organizing kind of by type. Here is sort of like standard classroom supplies, pencils, rulers, that sort of thing, glue sticks. I try to keep all the like kind of standard classroom supplies, paper, stuff like that on the left-hand side. And then all the specific engineering sorts of things, materials, metal, ceramics, balsa wood, small pieces of wood, even smaller pieces of wood, electrical wire down here, some electronic stuff, safety equipment, PVC, this really cool dense foam that we're gonna be using for prototyping stuff on the CNC mills, lighter weight foam, collets for the Haas, that sort of thing. Kitchen / food stuff, plates, cups, electronic stuff back here. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with this stuff yet. Kind of odds and ends in the very back. So this closet here is epic, and I think it made a big difference. All that stuff that was here is cleared. These junk piles were cleared out. I moved them, or the custodians, thank you custodians, helped move them. Still in the process of kind of moving stuff around in this corner of the room. All the science stuff, they're gonna pick through it next week, and then hopefully it disappears. 3D printer zone, I didn't really touch that. Haven't really put anything in any of these storage cabinets except for this one. I'm thinking maybe this is where I'm gonna store some of the sprays and epoxies and glues and stuff like that. Kind of farther away by the door in a metal cabinet for kind of safety reasons. Cool stuff up here. There was some of the Paxton Patterson stuff that I thought was pretty sweet. I'm gonna keep the solar panel thing. Moved some of the bigger wood out into the shipping container there. I think it's still open. Let me see. Oh, I kind of shut it. Anyways, big day of movement. As you can see, it's starting to look like an actual classroom, which is pretty epic. Signing out.